What you've got to remember about Pontypool. Pontypool is a founder member club of the Welsh Rugby Union, one of only a dozen I think it was at that time. It's done as much for Wales international rugby teams and British Isles rugby teams as any other club in Wales. And for a period of its history, it was preeminent in Great Britain. No one wanted to play Pontypool. So there's a huge history and a huge respect that that team had for its colours that you are now going to wear out in Aberfan. Great men have won the stripes and they won them with pride. And I wish I was running out with you for it because it'll be a great occasion and a real chance to put us right back on the map.
Knowing you were on the cusp of achieving your dream, but knowing that it was one big 80 minutes and ultimately 3 years of work would be defined by an 80-minute match, it still baffles me as to how that was allowed to take place.
Why you play off after 3 unbeaten or 2.5 unbeaten seasons or whatever, I felt a big injustice, the fact that we had to play the playoff.
It's the 3 years of emotions and 3 years of work, and just our frame of mind was we believed we were going to win. At all costs we knew it was going to happen.
It was the biggest game in the club's history for a long time. It wasn't so much for us, it was we wanted to do something for the town, for the community, for the supporters.
Games like this, yeah, will make their memories for you. They'll make them bonds for you. They'll make you super tight, yeah? And when you do retire, when that time comes, yeah, you make sure games like this, you can look these people in the eye, yeah, you're going to bump into for the rest of your life, and you know that you give everything out there for each other.
I don't think that we ever thought we were going to lose.
For someone of my era, kind of grew up really with Pontypool were one of the the great clubs of Welsh rugby. Everybody always refers to the Pontypool front row. I mean, there's some of these places where I walk in them probably having not been there for 20, 25 years, and you do get the hairs on the back of the neck stand on end. You're back in a time and a place again, and wherever you go, there's an image and a memory that sticks in your mind. And yeah, certainly for Poole Park, that 1989 game against the All Blacks was one. It's hard to explain to people just how big those tour games were. It's something that it was the high point of the season.
It was at the New Zealand game. I was ball boy in that game, and the Australia game. I was in the World Cup game. I was there for that as well. They were sellouts, and it was something special. Everyone was constantly talking about the club. It used to be week in, week out. Every home game, there was always 10, 15,000 there. So the park as full as it used to be, and the buzz and the atmosphere in the games. It was for a young kid like myself. It was something you probably never experience again.
Obviously growing up in Pontypool, you are surrounded by all of the stories and all of the legends that played for Pontypool, and international teams used to come down to the park. And when I was younger, all I can remember is people telling me how much the park would be absolutely ram-packed, and people would be up on the banks and they wouldn't be able to move, and people would say 15,000, which when you think about that, it's kind of crazy. And yeah, I just know that a lot of teams have toured there.
I wasn't fortunate enough to see it in its heyday, but I would have loved to have seen that. I mean, I've seen YouTube videos and videos of what it used to be like. That's probably the first time I've ever not seen grass on the bank. And it's the heart of Pontypool. The fans are everything.
After 95, when the amateur era was ushered out, all of a sudden, plonk, here you are, you're professional boys, good luck. That's when things started to change for a lot of clubs, including the Poolers of this world. Certain clubs found it hard, certain clubs found it very hard, certain clubs found it impossible. A completely new ball game. And I think Pooler, along with other clubs, found that probably difficult.
It was completely different, to see him struggling in top class rugby. We was, for myself and the group I was in, when in the 14s, 15s, 16s, we still, that was our club, that was where we wanted to play, and we wanted him to be as successful as he was. But it was tough then, really, because you were brought up to not really get on with your rivals like Newport and teams like that. So to seeing them doing well and then Pontypool struggling was quite difficult for a group of us to take from the junior setup then, because that's all we wanted to do was play for Pontypool and for them to be the best team about.
There was a gradual move after '95 to a reduction in the number of core teams, which of course culminated in the move to regional rugby, where we went initially down to just 5 sides and then down to 4 teams. And obviously where Pontypool fitted into that whole regional conundrum, that's probably the people are still debating today, you know.
Well, at the time then I was in the seniors, and that was the year we gained promotion to go back into the top league, and then it all got scrapped. The regions come in that year, so yeah, for someone, you know, like myself, it was gutting because we'd come through the junior setup wanting to be playing for the seniors in the top league, and then to kind of go that year and win the league, to get promoted, to go into that top league, to be like, you know, boy, your dream, what you want to do for your hometown club. There was a few of us then who were really gutted then to, you know, see the regions come in and not be able to take our place at the, you know, the top end of the Welsh rugby.
There were casualties and teams that found it hard, and I think that was the background against which Pooler had to find themselves dragging, kicking and screaming into the professional age, and it wasn't an easy age.
There's a massive sense that Pontypool and many clubs within Wales were very much left behind with the advent of regional rugby, and I think you look in Gwent, the name Newport Gwent Dragons, how it was formed through a merger with Ebervale, and then the lack of season ticket sales when it was pretty much the Gwent Dragons, and then it had to be called the Newport Gwent Dragons to cater for all the Newport season ticket holders. Based at Rodney Parade, the colour scheme was still very much a Newport-centric brand, and it didn't really focus on the people in Pontypool. The last sort of 15 years have been really, really damaging to Welsh club rugby as it struggled to find its place in the Welsh rugby pyramid. When the Welsh Rugby Union took the decision to restructure the Premiership division again and effectively shrink it down to size, they didn't exactly do it on the fairest of processes in terms of who actually got demoted in this case, because Pontypool didn't finish in a relegation drop zone.
It was decided then that they were going to cut the league down to 10, then they changed it to 12, and then they went on not where you finished in the league, but how you'd finished in the last, I think it was 8 or 10 seasons, which meant we were relegated again because we'd been relegated a few seasons before, so then we found ourselves back in the Championship.
It was a hugely contentious decision to demote Pontypool from the Premiership to this newly formed National Championship division. And it was the decision taken by the previous shareholders and directors of the rugby club that they were going to take the Welsh Rugby Union to the highest court in the land, the High Court, to try and overturn that decision. And effectively they raised a fighting fund, as they called it, which got donations from supporters, businesses, and they raised something in the region of £80,000 to £90,000 to fight this High Court case. But it was really an all or nothing scenario, and unfortunately they came off second best and lost, and were faced with a very hefty court case bill from the Welsh Rugby Union, which had to be settled, otherwise the club was literally days from being liquidated, as a fact it couldn't pay the bill. Several supporters originally paid some of their own hard-earned money, including our president Graham Price. They put their money where their mouth was, and they, together with my father, saved the club. And that's what led us then into inheriting what was an absolute shell of a club. It was nowhere near its former glory. The club had lost all of its players because there was no money to pay them. The facilities were very much in need of attention. There was lots of problems at the rugby club, and really we didn't quite know what we were letting ourselves in for.
To see the people, leaving the club and leaving it kind of rock bottom and kind of there to rot was really hard to take for someone like myself and other boys similar to me who'd been in the environment for so long and been born and bred Pontypool. To see it, like, I suppose nearly in the gutter was quite tough to take.
It left a really, really bad taste in the mouths of everybody in Pontypool and our supporters. The level of distrust that has created between our supporters and the WRU is I think beyond repair, quite frankly. I think certainly in our quest to get promoted back to the Premiership, it's not just about getting back to the Premiership, it's about what that represents. It's about showing that this club was never going to roll over and die. It's too big of a historic brand to just give up, and that it was really trying to get some sort of redemption, that this club belonged in the Premiership all along. It belongs there now. We have to reverse the roles again, where we're giving the supporters what they want and what they deserve, and taking this club back to the Premiership. We were in the Championship for best part of 3 seasons before the first opportunity for us to get promoted, so to speak, where that was our best opportunity to get promoted, as the Premiership was being changed again and expanded to 16 teams, which meant the top 4 finishers would go up.
That year, it was there or thereabouts. With 4th, 5th, it was real tight. I believe it'll come down to a game at home at RGC.
RGC was a tough one because, in fairness to them, they brought a good few buses of supporters down as well, and that was a really good atmosphere.
They were notorious for not travelling very well, so I think we believed we had it in the bank, but they beat us, and yeah, it was not a great day.
Like we lost to RGC, and then you think, right, okay, we've got to pick up 4 or 5 points or whatever it was at Bargoed away, which is another tough challenge, but you don't get many pleasant experiences down at Bargoed. I think I've only ever won there twice. They're good at home, but their support was right on us throughout the day. Yeah, that was a tough one to take, and it wasn't a pleasant day at all.
It was very hostile. We probably knew that we weren't as good as Bargoed, so that was going to be like a really tough ask.
Yes, it's a hostile place, Bargoed. It's not an easy place to go and grind any results out, let alone promotion. From the first whistle, we didn't really look like we were ever going to beat them. It was just a real tough time to take, because I think after about 25 minutes as a coaching group, I think we knew that this result wasn't going to go away. And then listening and watching the Bargoed supporters, coaches, staff, the way they were, that was probably one of my toughest days in rugby to be involved in Pontypool.
When we didn't achieve that objective of getting promoted in 2016, we knew that we had a really, really big job on our hands to keep everybody motivated and driven to achieve promotion, knowing that we couldn't do it for at least 3 seasons. So it was an enormously challenging time. However, we did take that as an opportunity to really rip up our rule book and start again.
Probably the most enjoyable part of my coaching career. I'd met with Ben quite early, and obviously I'd taken the job of head coach, and me and Ben met quite regularly at the start to pan a 3-year plan out, and we come up with we want to gain the title for 3 years. We want to get promoted, but we want to do something different, and we want to be a different Pontypool to what we've been in the past, where we are in the community and we are doing stuff for the community and the community behind us, and kind of rebuilding the whole Pontypool brand where everyone in Torvine is behind us, making match days a better experience for the kids coming up playing and the supporters, the players, just trying to make it a really positive club for the community, because as a lot of people know, there's not much going on in the community. So if we could get Pontypool back to being successful, but also reaching out to the community, then it would have been a massive achievement of the club. And that was the plan in the first year, really, just to get out in the community and develop local talent and try and get as many Pontypool boys or local boys as we can in the Pontypool team, which I think we've done in the first year. Also, we did win the league with 1 loss, so it was a great year for us the first year.
We came here a few years ago with a club that was very much on its last legs, and it's nothing to do with us two. It's to do with people like these guys who slog it out every week. People like you have stuck with us because it's been nearly 5 years since that famous court case when the WRU thought we weren't good enough for the Premiership. But today and this season we've shown we are good enough for the Premiership, and if the union has the bollocks to drop ring fencing, we'll go up there and prove it.
for us, our goal and our strategy was we had to lay a marker down to show the Welsh Rugby Union and the wider Welsh rugby public that ring fencing is just a terrible idea. And we knew that if we lost 5 or 6 games in a season for 3 seasons, we weren't really making the strongest case for getting rid of it. So we knew we had to effectively make a mockery of their decision and dominate the league. So it wasn't just about winning as many games as we could, it was about laying a huge marker down and saying, look, we're a Premiership team and you need to let us have the opportunity to get promoted.
To grow as a team, a coaching set of man as a team, that was our main focus in the second season, and to go undefeated, to try and challenge ourselves to that undefeated title, which I think the second season, I think everyone in the club, played a part in that.
So the fact that we got to the very last game of the season away to Narberth, which is very much a bogey team for us, and losing that game with 2 or 3 minutes to go, and the fact we clawed that win back was hugely significant because it made all the headlines that we were the Invincibles that season, and why are we still not getting promoted? You go through to the third season and our objective was totally different, because alongside the second and third season, the Welsh Rugby Union were performing their review into the structure of the game, and we'd given ourselves every chance of making them look twice at ring fencing. The Cup was huge for us because it was our only opportunity to play very good Premiership opposition and really, again, lay a marker down that actually we don't only belong there, but we can go up there and compete and beat some of these really seasoned Premiership teams.
Certainly for the Championship clubs, that's the one area of Welsh rugby where the Welsh Cup still has a huge resonance, I think, because it's, they play in their own league, and this is the one opportunity, the one chance you get to go up against the teams from the Premiership. And certainly over the last couple of years, I've sensed how important it's been to Pontypool, and you can see the way in which the fans have turned up and gone to these cup matches and how much it's meant to them. And I was at the Arms Park when Pontypool beat Cardiff. You could sense that those games were really, really important to the club.
We always backed ourselves at home, whoever we played. So the Bridgend game was, I believe that we could win.
It was a key game where, they were looking likely to be in that playoff. So I think, as a coaching group, we spoke about this being a big game and a big boost for our confidence if we could turn them over. It was a cup game, but it was good for us to know what we had to achieve then going into a playoff.
It's in the balance, this game is in the fucking balance, yeah? Both teams can keep going like we're going. Something is going to crack. It's who is going to crack, yeah? Now I genuinely believe our work rate, our hunger and our togetherness will not let us crack out there. So we go out there, we put them back in them fucking corners, yeah? Which is, we're down the slope, yeah? We put them back in them corners, we give them no easy outs, and we squeeze the fucking life out of them down there, yeah?
This should be a rolling maul and a try. Let's have a look.
A real nail-biter of a game which we probably should have saw out in regular time, but it went to extra time. We wanted to win that game because I think we all feel such a burden of responsibility to the town and the supporters and the volunteers. It's so tense and there's so much pressure, and when you have a moment where you score that try where realistically you've won the game and we're going to go through to the next round and you've made thousands of people happy by seeing that happen on the field, the momentum it gave us into the next round was really quite special.
When we drew Merthyr, the boys knew that we were, taking on the best team, best semi-professional team in Welsh rugby, so...
We rip the fucking shreds out of them, okay? Nothing comes through us. No respect, we're flying at these cunts today, boys. And nothing, we're gonna look back on it and we're gonna fucking enjoy watching the video. No matter what happens, we're together. Fucking 15 of us, right? Come on!
I think we took them to the 77th minute, and lost to a kick, and I think that, probably one or two areas of the game, and we probably could have beat the double champions, and I think a lot of people had seen that, and that was another good standout for us.
It was clear how much the cup run had sort of sparked an interest and served as a real catalyst, to get a buzz about the town, and to see those many people there, and being interviewed by Phil Steele on the touchline, and the banter as well, and it was almost like a sense of a reawakening of a slumbering beast, I suppose, really, and it made you realise as well, I think, how much they would have to offer if they were playing in the Premiership, because had the success they had in the Championship, but because of the ring fencing being able to go up, it was the one opportunity they kind of had to say, well, this is what you're missing out on, boys. This shows how competitive we could be and what we could offer to the Premiership. So yeah, it had a huge resonance for the club, I think.
Our main focus was the league, though. Even though we was semi-finals of the Welsh Cup and whatnot, we haven't been working for 3 years to win the Swaylett Cup. We knew that we had this playoff game coming up. Our main focus was the league, and it always has been, and always will be until we get back up.
The Trebanos game was quite emotional, actually, because it was the last game, hopefully, of our time in the Championship, and at that point it just felt like a chapter of the club's history and our journey was coming to a close. And firstly, it was a chance to wrap up another unbeaten season. Secondly, Trebanos is a really good club run by really good people, and we sort of knew that there was going to be a good atmosphere there. They'd asked to give us a guard of honour when we had the trophy celebration, so we knew it was all in the right spirit. Of course, we won the game, got to the end of it, did the celebration, but we actually asked all of the supporters to join us on the field for a photo, because although we'd won the championship again and the team had achieved great things, it was really a team effort, and by that I mean everybody off the field, our supporters, and that feeling of togetherness, which I've mentioned quite a lot. We wanted everybody to be a part of that, and there was a moment after that game, there must have been 300 people on the pitch who participated in that photo with us, and I just had this sense of emotion that, yeah, we've got it right here. Win or lose, whatever happens in this playoff, we've got a club which is united, it has a good reputation now, a lot of good people involved and a lot of nice people on that journey with us.
I think it's a completely different club altogether. When we first took it over, it was in total disarray, and now 3 seasons as championship champions, and the way we've competed in the cup, against Merthyr particularly, I think it says it all. The club is a dramatically different place.
I mean, the way it's run now is it's run like a proper club, and the coaching staff outstanding, players outstanding. Can't ask for no more, can it?
This has dominated our lives for the last 7 years, and it's been with one goal in mind: to get back to the Premiership and avenge that terrible decision by the Welsh Rugby Union in the eyes of our supporters, and to be on the cusp of that, where year after year after year we were just miles off it, and we built up to this point. Yeah, it was a very emotional time for us, and at the same time though, it was a really big realisation that there was one game left, the playoff, and immediately that pressure started to hit, because the championship was wrapped up way before this game, and this was what it was all about, and we knew that the next couple of weeks were going to be long, they were going to be stressful, and really it would define how successful we've been over the last 3 seasons in one way or another. Next game, judging from Darren's, how's your head?
Don't fucking film me much. Have a quick one. I blacked out, I think.
We took a night off. Yeah, we come in on the Tuesday. We had a little debrief, a bit of food, and some light kind of training. We took the Thursday off then. Let the boys, be with their families. It's been a long season, and give them a night off and kind of let them chill out and just enjoy that time off. Come back in then on the following Tuesday then, and just try to go, focus back on ourselves, where we kind of let ourselves down the last few games.
We'll be even better next week if we get the job done. Yeah.
When's the Bridgend game now? Saturday, there, isn't it? Yeah, Bridgend and Pontypool, isn't it? So Bridgend get 2 points.
If they win, it's not great. If they lose,
There's no points.
No, one.
2 weeks after the Jabanas game were immensely stressful for all of us, and I think probably in particular myself and Leighton, and I think we both felt an enormous sense of responsibility that we had to get promoted because we wanted to bring success to this club and we didn't want to let anybody down. And I think those are the times where you start soul searching and thinking, are we fully prepared? Was there anything we could have done different in the build up?
All right, boys. Leighton's asked me to come up and just say a few words to you ahead of the game next week, just to tell you where we stand, you know, with the situation regarding next week. As most of you probably are aware, last 3 seasons I put over £1 million into this rugby club, and we've committed another $1 million for ground developments and things like that. So basically, if you don't win next Friday, I'm fucking out of here.
You serious, mate?
No. Sorry, I just wanted to see the shock on everybody's face. And it said everything to me, because basically I just wanted to come up and lay out the situation, win, lose or draw next Friday, right? We've had the last 3 years, you know, we've built this club up with the management, you know, the volunteers, the coaching staff, the players, how everybody's developed, right? And I'll be honest with you, I can't say enough about having a league with no jeopardy. You know, with the ring fencing, it's been an absolute disaster. And now there's jeopardy on the table again. I think this is absolutely made for us. We're good enough, you know, we are a team that raises itself for the big game. But I just wanted to reassure everybody that, you know, you this, that and the other, that even if we don't win, and I'll be honest with you, I don't care who they put in front of us, I think you boys are going to win next Friday. I got every confidence in you. But even if we don't win, right, and it's the last time I'll mention that, we're not going anywhere. I love it up here with the club. I've really enjoyed working with everybody, you know, and developing the team over the last 3 years. And I just want to reassure you that we are all sticking together, you know, so whatever happens, if we're in the Premiership or we have to win the Championship again, we're sticking around, we're not going anywhere. And, you know, as I've said to you boys so many times before, we're really proud to be involved with this club. Great bunch of players, really enjoy coming up here on a Saturday, watching you boys play, having a couple of beers afterwards. Absolutely love it. So just wanted to reassure you that we ain't going anywhere. And win, lose or draw, next Friday, we'll have a few beers together as a team, as a squad, as a group that's tight and sticks together, and that's what we're going to do. And that's all I wanted to say, really. All right, Leighton?
Yeah, brilliant.
Ben, do you want to say anything?
Just to reiterate what Dad said, really, just it's been an absolute privilege and an honour to share this experience with you guys over the last 3 seasons. It's been fucking incredible, really. And you know, everyone talks all this shit about money and fucking all the rest of it. It's bollocks. You don't win 65 out of 66 games without a lot of this, and you've shown that again and again and again. So it's really just to reiterate what Dad said, that we're going to stick together, win or lose. I think you'll win, but if not, we just keep going as we've done. So just thank you, really, and let's go and fucking get it next week.
Thanks, boys. Cheers.
Obviously, yeah, boys, next Friday is a massive game. A week later, Peter's captain in the beer pong team, so I can do. On a serious note, we've got some stuff planned tonight. We're going to work on training next week on Tuesday, light team on Thursday, going into Friday, into the game. Yeah, so we'll look to get some stuff done with Tom and Cookie on detailed stuff, and then next week will just be team focus, game focus going to Friday. So we'll start now in 5 minutes with Dyer warming up. Just gonna enjoy it there.
Just an exciting couple of weeks to be a part of the club. We prepped really well, we trained really well. There was nothing wrong with the build-up. It was pretty relaxed.
Excited, I think. massive opportunity for us. Been working a long time, both on and off the field, so just another opportunity for the boys to go out and give it a go, really.
I'm nervous about it. I just wanted to get out the way, to be honest. I can't.
Yeah, I'm lying. I'm nervous
too. I can't think about much other things. It's just it's dragging on now. I just want the game to arrive, and I'm sure the boys will be ready for it. It's just we can't do anything now. It's just 2 sessions and then it's over to them. I disagree with the principle of it, in the fact that we have to play it. There's no bitching and moaning because it is what it is, and we've all known that it's always going to be the case. So it's not a surprise on us. But I just disagree with the fact that we have to do it, having achieved what we have. But yeah, it does put pressure on, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. Anything can happen on the day. And the league, we've been really successful. I think we broke the record in 40 games.
47 now.
47 games. So, and ultimately that can count for nothing if we don't achieve this one game. And like Tom said, I disagree in the principle, but it is what it is. We can only control the controllables, really.
Why you play off after 3 unbeaten or 2.5 unbeaten seasons or whatever? It just I felt a big injustice the fact that we had to play the playoff. Once we knew we had to play the playoff and we got there, okay, but the notion of having to play a playoff against 5th from bottom after 3 years of being stuck there and grafting week in, week out to beat teams, I thought that was ridiculous.
It just didn't really sit right where you've won every single game bar one for 3 seasons and then you have to go through one more game.
So next week now, Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday obviously be a team run, but Tuesday we'll go into more team stuff, more scenario stuff. So wanted to break it down, focus on the basics, hammer that home, and we're fucking in a good place. Tom?
3 clips we showed on, what did you say? 3 clips of B-shapes we showed on Tuesday, none of them looked like that tonight. Far better tonight. We just got to be able to do it and listen to battle. And the detail is the key. If you do the detail a little bits right, it makes everything look so much cleaner.
Comms, boys, it is. Comms is massively important. Tom's job is massively important in mine as well. It's what makes us function, it's what makes us work, yeah? That's it, boys. Anything from you guys?
I like how fucking relaxed it is, boys. It's nice and chilled, isn't it? Everyone's fucking buzzing, but we're quietly buzzing. We're building up fucking nice. Yeah, I love it. Bring that into fucking Tuesday, Thursday, and just keep it there.
Good point, Rob.
Hey, boys, 1, 2, 3, freeze!
Yeah,
I've seen it, no. No, I haven't seen it.
There's still 3 teams, I believe, still in the mix ready for that playoff, depending on how Bridgend did against Pontypool that day. And Bridgend done a job on Pontypool over in Sardis Road, which is, a massive ask, and they did it in fair play to them, and so we ended up battling Leffley.
Must be a fucking big game, there's 30 plus to go Saturday, yeah? First of all, I better ask everyone, do you know what we got Friday, yeah?
Hairdresser, eh?
Joel, genuinely.
Yeah,
big week, yeah? Big game Friday, last game. 3 years of work took us to get here, yeah. So let's make sure there is going to be pressure, yeah. There's going to be more pressure on them than us. Just make sure we go about our week normal, yeah. We'll have a little look at some areas we can exploit Llanelli with, but it's another week, boys, yeah. It's another game of rugby. We've played, 66 games in the league, yeah, 65-1. It's another week. We'll train exactly the same, we'll back ourselves the same, and we'll do everything the same throughout the week, yeah? And then when we go down there, we do exactly the same as what we do for every other game, yeah? Warm-up will take place, your mindset will be in the right place, and we'll go on the field, and I'm sure that as long as we give it everything like we normally do, we'll come off there with a result, yeah? So we just make sure, yeah, everything stays the same for us. Happy? Sparks? Happy? You look quite tough there, don't you? Camera's there, isn't it? Where's our camera being?
The times you enjoyed was, for that 2-week period, was I think it was the Tuesday, Thursday training sessions, because while we were training, we were working towards it, we were together as a coaching group, as a playing group, as a squad, off field, everything. So they were okay, but every other minute of every day I seemed to be thinking about it and thinking, what if what if they do this, what if we do this, what if we lose, what if we win. If you see that fucking shot go, bang, don't go in from the side, because you know it's Mr. Owens refereeing it, go straight through the gate, come hard and disrupt their ball, because their 9 sort of tends to sit on it and have a look a little bit before he passes as well. Right, and once we send them backwards, we don't look half as good. Okay,
Wherever we played, really, we were expecting to have, you know, a few regional players in, so, you know, it wasn't really nothing we were going to moan at or anything. We knew the position we were in. We just had to kind of go down there and try and believe that we could do a job with the players we had.
Look around the room, yeah, there's a massive Pontypool / Gwent mentality around you lot, yeah. Typically fucking hard people, yeah. Hard in the fucking head, hard physically, yeah. I think a lot of us have been down there and played this West Wales teams, yeah. They don't fucking like that. And that's exactly what they have to have, yeah, for 80 minutes. We have to be hard, we have to be physical, we have to ask questions about it. And if we go down there and do that, majority of the time they fucking fall apart. But we make sure we go down and we do that, yeah, and we are fucking hard, and we are aggressive, and we are physical, yeah. Because if we bring them three things, with this Gwent mentality we've got here, yeah, they will fall to pieces. So when we go out now, let's keep focused, yeah, everything we're doing, we're on the money with it, we're fucking aggressive, we're hard, and we're fucking men, yeah. When we go down there Friday, we unload down them, they will not know what fucking hit them. Happy, yeah? But 5 minutes we'll warm up with guidance.
We spent a lot of time in the build-up thinking about how we would manage the team and the stress levels they would be feeling, and we knew alongside that, but we were going to be under a lot of scrutiny from the press, the media. We knew that the game was going to be broadcast, and I think there was a lot of interest on the team we were facing and what sort of team they put out and all of these factors, and we really tried to shield the team from the press and all that stuff as much as we could, but I think we did that quite well.
Well, let's be honest, it was great for me. It gave me a story almost every day, you know, and it was a lot. And it created a huge reaction, and we did a lot of coverage on it. There was a period towards sort of April, May time when we were writing and seeing more about the Championship and the Premiership than regional rugby. So, yeah, it certainly caught the imagination, didn't it, that game?
From a personal point of view, it was a long, tough week. You know, it was the biggest game in the club's history for a long time. It wasn't so much for us. It was we wanted to do something for the town, for the community, for the supporters, for everyone who'd done stuff for us over the past season. So we felt a pressure.
I think this is a good week building up to what is a very important game for us. It's quite similar to the run-up before the Bridgend and Merthyr games. The focus has been good, the planning's been good, the attitude has been good. We just need to execute now when we go down there, which I'm positive that we will do. Feeling nervous, Pontypool boy, born and bred. Still working in the borough, so you're having daily conversations about this game coming up. You know, so I'm fully aware of how much it means to not only this group of players here and the squad we got here, but the whole town as a whole. So, you know, there's a lot riding on this game. And I don't think I've been involved in any sort of game where the outcome is so massive just based on one 80-minute performance. I'm sure that the crowd will, you know, the Pooler Army will probably grow in numbers, you know, if we do get into the Premiership. So, you know, it'll be a pleasing thing for us as a team, as a squad, but also it'll be an uplift for the whole town as well, I think.
I think it's mixed emotions really. You're sort of relying that you played well enough in the last game, leading up to this game, that you'll get your spot, and obviously training counts. You've got to train well to get your position sort of thing, but it's all the coaches now, what they decide goes, and we can only sit by here and get delivered what it is. But if you're on the bench or if you're not picked, this game is a matter of us all coming together, no matter who takes the field. So there's a bit of a all in together this weekend. So yeah.
In some positions, it hasn't been difficult at all. We got who we got, so we go what we got. In other positions, yeah, it's been a bit more difficult. It's you know, how we want to play the game, how we want to start the game or finish the game. So a lot of debates have been taken between the management group and who we're picking. So this game, obviously, it is the biggest game of the 3 years. So there's going to be some big disappointments.
But again, we're such a close team, we're such a close a bunch of guys here that whoever's not selected will be disappointed, but they will go out in the field tonight. They'll give their all, and they'll shake their teammates' hand who's got their position, and they'll want the best for that person in that position and for the team at the end of the day, because that's the kind of environment we've got here. You know, as a management group, we thought it was a good idea and get the boys kind of a little bit different of a focus and kind of something a bit special. And for me, there's no one bigger in Pontypool history than Terry Cobner. So we thought, well, why don't we get him to come in and say a few words and present the jerseys to the boys. And luckily enough, Terry agreed to come in and do it.
Well, firstly, thanks very much for the invite. As someone who played all those years at Pontypool, I feel really proud, boys, that you felt that you wanted to ask me to come and do the duties. It really meant something to me. What can I say about the club? I can say about you, I really envy you. And what I envy you about is that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, you'll be running out in Aberafan. You'll be wearing the colours. Great men have worn those colours, and they've worn them with pride. And I really wish I was running out with him for it, because it'll be a great occasion and a real chance to put us right back on the map. Because what you've got to remember about Pontypool isn't just a town side. Pontypool's a regional side. I was lucky enough to be playing at the time when Pontypool was preeminent, and everybody in the valley from Burnavon to Cwmbran talked Pontypool. They all knew the players. They all knew the fixture list, they all knew who was playing well, who was playing bad, and it was the best. And you're bringing that back. People are now beginning to talk about Pontypool again. They now know the Pontypool rugby team, they know the players, they know the fixture list. For so long, this club didn't seem to be knowing where it was going. But there's a real sense of purpose here. I sense it from outside. There's a real sense of direction. I think the people at the top are inspirational in that their vision, and I think you've all bought into it. And remember this about Pontypool, man. Pontypool is a founder member club of the Welsh Rugby Union, one of only a dozen, I think it was at that time. It's done as much for Wales international rugby teams and British Isles rugby teams as any other club in Wales. And for a period of its history, it was preeminent in Great Britain. No one wanted to play Pontypool. So there's a huge history and a huge respect that that team had for its colours that you are now going to wear out at Aberafan. The thing is now one more hurdle. And for me, the way for you to win that hurdle is by doing the things that have got you there in the first place. But not just doing them, but fucking doing them better than you've ever done them in your life. And doing them harder and faster and stronger than you've ever done them in your life. Because for me, it's the little things in the game that make this a great team game and enable success to occur. And the other thing that all of the Pontypool sides that I ever played in, they all gave it everything they fucking had. Not one of the teams that I played in big matches, ever came off the field leaving something there. And that's a matter of personal pride. And that's a matter of respect for yourself. And what you've got to come off that field with is your own personal respect in place, but also having won the respect of every other player that went with you. Because if there's something in life that you can't buy, and you've got to earn, but it's worth earning, it's your own self-respect. So whatever happens, that tank runs dry. And you come off, and then you can all look at each other. And there's no shame in losing. If when you come out, that tank is dry. If they're better than you, but you've given it everything you fucking can, put your hand up and say, but don't come off there losing when you haven't done that. And I hope to God, and I wish, give you the respect and best wishes of everybody in Eastern Valley boys, and I hope sincerely hope to God that you do it.
They're kind of looking at the boys and the emotion on the boys' faces, and you know, a few of the boys, you know, filling up in their eyes and stuff like that. Talking to the boys after the game, you know, it was really, it was something special that, no matter what happened on the Friday, that was something that they would take from rugby, and that would stay forever with them in their memories of rugby. So for us to do something like that for the boys was something special.
It was really relaxed. I think there was an element of, we believed we were going to win. At all costs, we knew it was going to happen, and that's why we were like pretty relaxed and whatnot.
It was a long day. It was just something, you know. It was kind of every hour went by seemed like as if it was a day. It was kind of a emotional day. It was emotions were running everywhere, and we kind of knew what was at stake at the end of the game. So it was a terrible day.
Yeah, no, like that should be.
Yeah.
You can't underestimate how big it is for the club and the town. But saying that, if things don't go our way tonight, then we'll just try again next season, because in the 3 years, I think the players and the management and the fans have just galvanised, and it's become even stronger. There's 14 of us, and we're all separate fans, and when 3 years ago, well, it's taken 3 years, we've all come together and just made our own little group of fans, so we can support even louder and prouder. So yes, I don't like to put the pressure on the players, but yeah, it's a big game. Yeah, so just hopefully we can do it. 3 years, one game. Seems ludicrous, but I'm sure we can do it. Sure we can do it, yeah.
I like the buzz. I like the buzz.
That's it. Spot on an athlete fan, eh? How close to an athlete?
It'd be like piss split out there.
Nice, come on. Drop.
Fucking low, the second guy does not go above fucking here. Low to the ground, one man over, the rest man. Got it? They should not fucking come through. Stop the talk.
All right, all the best, Danny.
Enjoy it. 3 years, yeah? 3 years we've been building up for this game. 3 years we've been putting in performances week in, week out, yeah? And you've been making everyone proud, yeah? The whole town, supporters, your families. This game, yeah? Make it about you. Make a memory for you, yeah? Most of us are local, most of us are living local. In 10, 15, 20 years time, you're going to bump into each other, yeah? There'll just be that eye contact. Because games like this, yeah, will make their memories for you. They'll make them bonds for you. They'll make you super tight, yeah? And when you do retire, when that time comes, yeah, you make sure games like this, you can look these people in the eye, yeah, you're going to bump into for the rest of your life, and you know that you give fucking everything out there for each other. Everything you got, you make sure you put it out there for each other, yeah? No one knows how long they got left playing this game, no one knows how long they got left in this club. So you make these fucking moments happen out there today and carry it for life, yeah? Life with each other. Make it happen. If we do that, we get a W.
Think about where we've been these last 3 years. Put your heads up. Think about where we've been, the SAS camps and everything like that, okay? How hard we've had to work for each other. The places we've been to, the nights out we've had, the sacrifices we've had to make to our families in order to get where we are now. The sacrifices that they have had to make as well, okay? In order to look after our kids or go out of their way to do something, right? Tonight, something special is going to happen. I love you all, and I'll see you out there.
Discipline, massive, right? We're all excited. Do not go offside. There's tech judges out the fucking side. There's people in the fucking sky. Do not go off fucking side. Yeah? You get onside to the half yard, then we come up and we smash. We're fucking low. Low as fuck. Second man is over the fucking top. Everybody else is pointing up ready to smash me dead. We don't need to do nothing fucking stupid. We just hit them back, hit them back, hit them back. When we've got the ball, somebody's up his fucking ass and you level the fucking cunts. You level the fucking cunts. Take their fucking heads off, yeah? Smash them out the fucking rucks. Show the fucking play.
1 minute. Come on.
Look at me. One fucking shot we got. One fucking shot. We got 80 fucking minutes. 3 years we fucking worked for this. 3 fucking years. Empty the fucking tank for the 40. Come back in here, reevaluate. Then we empty the fucking tank again. Got it? Yeah, empty the fucking tank. You watch somebody else come on there, empty the fucking tank. Fucking car in circles. Come on, boys.
Happy one to go. Yeah, one
more than them. Let's expect a fast start as well. Yeah, we can't afford to go 14 fucking nil down against Merthyr, right? We start strong, we start fast, we're switched on.
Really said
we don't give them no fucking easy plays, yeah? Hey, they work for fucking every yard they have, yeah? No easy fucking outs.
1, 2, 3, let's go,
boys!
Guys, keep smiling. Keep enjoying ourselves all the way through.
Pontypool unbeaten in the National Championship. Llanelli 5th from bottom of the Principality Premiership. 1 to play in the revamped Premiership of 12 next year. All down to this game. Goes the long way around. Ooh, now this could be interesting. No nonsense from Nigel. Yellow straight away. Nigel will need the assistance from Adam Jones and Richard Brace this evening, because Pontypool are not holding back. Behind the defence, and there's Lloyd Lewis. He's first to the ball, watches the bounce, but then misses it. And Ryan Davis, Darren Hughes for the try line. Kieran Meek puts over the first point to the blind side. They go, Bjorn Hughes, and in the corner. Oh, he's lost it. He's Kieran Meek, puts over his second penalty. Pontypool go ahead by 6 points to 0.
There's 13 in there.
Up to the try line they go. Can Davis get the ground is the only question. Yes, says Llanelli. Yes, says Nigel Owens.
It's just what Llanelli needed before half time as well. Just 60 seconds left.
They scored just before half time, which was a real hard blow for us, because we'd worked so hard, and we'd just managed to let them in just before the half, which not only for us but for any team is a massive psychological blow.
You know, we had to go in at half time and try and kind of make the boys believe that this game was there to be won. You know, we created a lot in the first half, and we just create some more in the second half, and we will score tries and we will, you know, score some points and just kind of go out and brush up on a few things we'd kind of let ourselves down on, and the game was there to win.
As tough as it is, that's probably deserved 7-6 because we had to get out there. We worked our bollocks off, the rhinos and the jams not working, but we're on our own. It's like as if we're there, and then all of a sudden someone will do something, and before they get 2 steps, the support players just stood there. And it's like, I'll wait for them to jack off before I want to wipe them out. Well, fuck that, get it first. Some of us are wasting our energy just going into rucks defensively when we're better off spreading the line there, so we need to realise, is it worth going in there jackling? Is it not? Once we had a tackler, +2, and another 1.5 on the side, and he was not even fucking on. We didn't get a turnover, boys. So we wasted 4 players. Can't afford to waste 4 players in the defensive line. If it's on, fire, jackal, get in the deep. We are comfortable, yeah? Driving liner, piss poor. Absolute piss poor. Danny, he goes through to do what he does, and then the rest of us thought, well, do you know, he's going to get it. Before you know it, go roll line. You need to fucking switch on. All we're going to have to do here now is dig fucking deep. Take them deep, big fucking beat and let him fold first, yeah? Sloppy try, light it off, we go back out, we show exactly the same fucking energy, the same passion, and we go back to their line now and we go again and again and again. And we question, are they going to go there with us?
You know, I did feel at half time the boys kind of believed they could win as well. It wasn't as if they, you know, had kind of questioned themselves or anything. You know, there was a big hunger and a passion in there at half time for them to come out and have a go in the second half and win the game.
First half was okay though. It was back and forth. We defended for quite a while and they didn't manage to break us. But where they were different, it was the breakdown. They were far superior. They had so many turnovers that first half.
But there's forwards now there, back to get fucking in. Round the corner, exhaust. Get on the fucking latch, get up his fucking ass. I don't want one of them cunts coming in for a jackal this fucking half. Do not fucking allow it. If they're not coming in for a fucking jackal, you get up their fucking ass and you fucking wipe the cunts. You do not allow them to get in. We are being fucking lazy and allowing them to go for the jackal. We're showing them too much fucking respect. We're not allowing them to get over the fucking ball. Get some fucking bollocks and wipe the cunts out.
Just work a bit on the floor as well, boys. When we're getting tackled, and then fucking giving up. We've got to fight to give our tackle.
Scrum just fucking went. We take their fucking scrum. The line-up goes fucking different now. We're holding in the air. We're taking this thing out of that fucking thing. Then we're going through. We're going over the top of the fucking guns. Boys, how we feeling? Fine. How we fucking feeling? Fucking yeah, we got plenty, haven't we? Let's go. Leave it one fucking thing before we go out. Is everyone bringing the fucking best version of themselves? Are we 40 minutes now to bring the best fucking version of yourself out on our fucking field, 40 fucking minutes to fucking make a stream. For each fucking each other, for every fucking brother in here.
Boys, we've worked too hard over the last fucking 3 seasons to let it slip in this 40 minutes. Fucking make the difference now.
We're really how we get together. How we score first. 1, 2, 3, squeeze! Come on, guys!
So the big prize of the final place in the Principality Premiership, very much at stake.
I think as things started to open up a little bit, we were getting tired. Where the game got a little bit more loose, that suited them down to the ground.
Steps on the gas.
Oh, Lloyd Lewis, what a tackle!
Cracks started to appear, and then they started to capitalise massively on our fatigue.
Patience on the ball for Llanelli now, really try and stress this Pontypool defence. This is superb recognition.
It could be on here. And it has Ryan Conbeer on the end of that one.
Our kind of heads dropped then, and it was tough then. I felt then that the boys were a bit spent, and I felt as if Llanelli went up a gear.
Bursts through, look for support, and gets
You're not
it.
catching him. Lee Reese is in.
Lee Reese is going to go all the way, and now it looks safe and sound for Llanelli in the Principality Premiership next year.
He didn't really match that gear they went up to, and for whatever reason that was, I felt we were kind of slowly losing our footing in the game, and it was only one way the result was going then.
We did claw back try, I think, but I think that we knew the game was lost with a good 10 minutes to go.
Llanelli don't even want to give them a sniff as Lampit in the shadow of the Llanelli posts. Matthews, the skipper, thinks he's got there. Scott Matthews gets Pontypool's try, but it's taken them 77.5 minutes to do so.
Just the feeling was, I can't even begin to describe. It was not a great feeling.
It's been a real tough battle, and then you pull him down. But Pontypool's effort to get back to the top flight of club rugby in Wales has fallen just short.
3 years of hard work just gone down the drain, just completely wasted.
And in the end, Llanelli were just too good, just too strong. They've won by 27 points to 16. Llanelli will be in the Premiership next year.
We were all completely crushed. We felt like we'd let everybody down. Leighton gave his speech, and then my dad said a few words, and then I said a few words.
We made a promise to you boys a couple of weeks ago, but no matter what happens, this is just the fucking beginning of this story, yeah? Everybody knows how much work you've put into this over the last 3 seasons. You know how much of a long journey this has been, but as we've said and we'll continue to say, I would not fucking change a thing in this dynamic, right? If we could have done what happened with that team tonight, or do what we did as a team, I'd pick this every single time and fucking lose. Because what we've got here is this, yeah? And that's worth more than any fucking professional contract or anything else. And we will never, ever, ever fucking abandon those principles.
In amongst this time, with every passing minute, more and more people surrounded us. And you'd never, ever know that we were the team that lost that game.
Pride I have, the pride everyone here has, fucking, it's like we won. And we fucking won tonight. Pontypool fucking won. There's 3 days. And we go fucking to the Premiership. And we'll do it together, because that's what Pontypool is all the fuck about.
When the huddle finished, we turned around and saw that there was probably 200-300 people surrounding us, cheering us on, thanking us for the work we've done over the last few years.
We all cried, we all shed a tear. It's just the epitome, really, of what a team is. And, you know, it was very warming, it was lovely for the players, and it just showed how much it meant to everybody.
It was tough, it was really tough, but I think that's where, as a head coach and a kind of leader, that's where you've still got to be a kind of leading, and you've still got to be showing it together in yourself. You know, looking around, there was a lot of management crying, players crying, supporters crying, and at that time I think you kind of need a cool head, and you need to kind of gather your emotions, and you need to kind of, you know, drive the club on in them situations. So for me, it was the pure focus was, we've lost the game, you know, let's look forward now to next season, let's try and stick together on this one, and let's get ready to come back in, you know, and roll our sleeves up and kind of deliver what we failed to deliver this season for, you know, the people who mean stuff to us.
Great job. Well done, Ben. Well done, Ben. Yeah, brilliant. Great. Tremendous. Yeah, you're getting the mighty boy. Danny, well, mate.